Ready with me while I reintroduce myself. My name is Alex Murphy, now Alex Murphy Klein, because just got married. I am an American that lives in the UK. Moved over to the UK back in like 2017. I was a professional ice skater. Very weird, I know, it's a very, very strange job, but was a figure skater since I've been like 1.5 years old. My mom was a skating coach. Well, she still is a skating coach, and she taught me how to skate, and it was like daycare for me. Eventually, I ended up getting scouted by a company called Disney on Ice, and I went on tour with Disney on Ice. And from there, I ended up touring the world, doing all different types of ice skating shows, which is really weird, from like Mexico to Scandinavia to like cruise ships in Japan and China, just everywhere. In the world with Royal Caribbean, working on cruise ships. And when I was in Tenerife in the Canary Islands, well, we were technically at sea, I had a stroke at 24 years old. But now I'm really healthy, thankfully. I had emergency heart surgery, which was crazy when I think about it. They fixed a hole in my heart, which was just wild. I had had it since birth, apparently. After the surgery, I went on to go on this TV show called Stars Dancing on Ice, Sterren Dansen op het IJs in Amsterdam, and we ended up winning 3 months to the day of my stroke. Essentially, that show is a Dutch version of Dancing on Ice, and winning that show led me to being on the UK version, hence why I live in the UK now. I got casted for the UK version, and I did that show for 3 years, so it's called Dancing on Ice over here in Britain, for those of you Americans that don't know anything about it. It's like a really cool show. It's like a skating version of Dancing with the Stars. It's really, really cool. You get a celebrity, and I was a professional ice skater, and you get paired with them, and then you teach them how to skate. Did that show for 3 years, but in my second year on that show, I actually got picked up to do another TV show called Celebrity Coach Trip, and that's where I met my husband. My husband and I met on a TV show while we were on a bus. Very strange also. I finished my third year on Dancing on Ice the week before COVID started, and we had just won, so it was crazy. All these things that we were supposed to be doing when the show finished ended up getting like completely ruined, like all these other TV shows and opportunities, because the show was over. And I mean, we were all locked down for 2 years. I couldn't go home to see my parents, which was really sad. I hadn't been home since the show started. My parents had flown out to see me. They couldn't make the final, and then I didn't get to go home for like 6 months. At that time, I moved in with my then boyfriend, now husband, started creating social media content because he's a social media content creator as well. And I knew nothing. Like, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. But I watched him do it, and I thought it looked, whoa, eek. I watched him do it, and I thought it looked really fun. Well, that's kind of like performing a little bit, and every ice rink was closed, so I was like, well, what am I going to do now? Then I got fired from my job on Dancing on Ice, which was miserable. We had literally just won the show, and I found out in June of that year with a 5-minute phone call that I wasn't going to be asked back, and I was absolutely and utterly devastated, like completely lost my mind, because I obviously met this guy and I wanted to stay here in the UK, and being on the TV show was my ticket to staying here in the UK. I spent a few more months working on social media, and because of that, I was able to sign with a company that would get me a visa to stay here. Able to stay in the UK, which was very, very fortunate for me, because I didn't want to go home, even though I wanted to see my family. I wanted to be able to stay with Paul and see how it was going to go if this was serious. And once I got the visa, I ended up staying here, and we ended up getting a house, moving in together. And in the process of that, we actually got a dog. He surprised me with a puppy. This is Puppy. Can you see him? His name is Tony, and he is the love of our lives. Very lazy, but love of our lives. We moved into this new house, got adjusted, and then less than 2 years later, we got engaged. During this time, I was going back and forth from the US, just trying to see my family, and COVID was still a thing, and it was horrible. Traveling was an absolute nightmare. I think I just went cross-eyed there. Then finally in October of that year, I started to make money on the social media that I was doing, so I was able to make it a full-time job, which is really exciting. I mean, I had no other choice. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Every ice rink was closed, so I couldn't coach, and I had just been fired from Dancing on Ice, so I honestly had no idea what I was going to do anyways. I had to make this work. I sometimes think that's an amazing thing, though, to have to make something work, because you have no other options. And because I had no other options, I needed to try to figure out how to be a content creator. Basically, YouTubed absolutely everything and anything I could find about learning how to edit and, iMovie. I still, by the way, edit all of my things like this sideways, the computer, and I edit everything sideways. Yeah, I mean, never know that I'm a permanent content creator. My parents were super, super skeptical when I told them I was going to do this as a job. They were really anti it and wanted me to go back to skating. But in my defense, they didn't want me to go to skating either, and that turned out okay. So I was like, whatever, I'll figure this out. We got engaged a couple years later. I wanted a wedding right away. I wanted to get married. I am old. I'm 36, which is old. I wanted to get married as soon as we could, so I was determined to get married within the calendar year. So I completely rushed and planned a wedding in 6 months. This is not grease in my hair, it's a hair mask, so don't worry. Looks gross, I know. Sorry, I need more lipstick. Got married December 2nd of 2023, and we've decided to put an extension on our house now in January. Doing massive building works now to our house since January, and hopefully we'll be able to start a family soon, and that's in the future for us. I figured I'd do one of these get ready with me's because I am just a lowly old ice skater that created content on here and has completely changed my life, and I'm so grateful for it. I literally don't know where I would be if I hadn't gotten locked down in COVID, gotten fired, and ended up creating content on here, on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, on whatever, because it has completely changed my life. I haven't really skated in like a really long time. I haven't put my skates on in ages, but I do miss it. I miss it when it's convenient. Like I miss it during the winter, and I miss it when I wish I was performing. I feel like this kind of gives me a little bit of that performance kick, but I do miss it. And I would go back if the right job or the right time or the right opportunity was there. But right now we're focused on building a family, building a house, and, you know, all of this. Yeah, if you're new here, I'd love to know what you guys want to see on here. I don't really know what I'm doing on here. Oop, there goes half my hair. Lovely. You that are new, because there's a lot of new people here. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being here. Look at the state of me. Let me know what you want to see on here, because I would love to create more content that you guys like, and I just am kind of, you know, freeballing it. I don't know what I'm doing really, so I just appreciate all your energy, your time on here, all the support on here, even the negative ones. Like, thank you to those of you that put snarky comments, because you drive engagement. So yeah. Anyways, guys. Yeah. See you soon. Bye.